It's bright and sunny at the Oval as Stumps is called on day two. Not similar to how things started in this fourth test between England and India, but India be pleased that they've started their second innings as well as they possibly could have. 43 without loss. It's Stumps trailing by 56, a lead that could have possibly been a bit less. We'll discuss all of that and all that happened in the final session of play and the day on ESPN Cricket for Match Day. VVS Laxman with us as always. Then to say hello to Ian Bell as well, who spent a day at the Oval and saw things get better to bat as he witnessed the day go by. Belly, good to have you. It looks a different test match now than it started yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a great day, actually. I mean, I think India started well, got the first two wickets. England built a partnership which was really good. The sun's come out, and I think this pitch right now is a good pitch to bat on, and it will be a good pitch tomorrow. So I think India at the moment, yes, they're still behind England, but it's a great time to bat right now.
Yeah, we thought, Lakshman, you said at T that 75-run lead will be good. You felt like a little bit of momentum was going away as that partnership of 35 for the last wicket was gathering steam. After that lead of 99, the fact that India have gotten through to Stumps 43 without loss, there's suddenly a different sort of mood in the camp. They still believe they're in this test match.
Yeah, not only not losing a wicket, but also Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul batted, and also the lack of penetration from the English fast bowlers. And I totally agree with Belly that the wicket has flattened out, and that's what we saw right from yesterday post tea session. And I just feel that this is a beautiful batting track, and the experience of this Indian team and the talent they possess and the potential. I use this word quite often. The potential this Indian team possesses, I think it's a great opportunity for them to redeem themselves. And I see the kind of determination in the body language of both KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma. While they capitalize on the opportunities they got, they're also very, very cautious whenever the ball is bowled in that channel outside the off stump. So I just feel that tomorrow is a great batting day for India, and if they can play the whole day, not think about what's going to happen on the fourth and fifth day. It's just about batting the whole day tomorrow, and if they can do that, I'm sure there will be a lot of runs on offer for them.
Yeah, I think the one you stress on potential, and that's because this Indian team has, you can say, underachieved insignificant test matches now. They've only get to that 300 sort of mark when you know that they have the potential to get 400, 450. Lakshman, as a batting unit, they're not used to making 450, which is probably what they'll need to make in order to make a test match out of this. How do you sort of find that? You just tell yourself, right, tomorrow's going to be a great day to bat because somewhere there are nerves. India have seen collapses from 100 without loss, 200 for two, and where they could have got 450, 500, end up for 350.
Yeah, I think it boils down to each and every batsman who are out there in the middle. Once they get a start, what hasn't happened is Rohit Sharma got start in majority of the innings so far in this Test series, but he has not been converting that into a big hundred. KL Rahul got 100 at Lords, but he missed out at Headingley when you know that he's in tremendous form. So I think it's all about taking the responsibility and ownership when you're out there in the middle. And I feel that after what has happened yesterday, after losing the toss and being bundled out for a below par score, and that also was because of a sensational half century from Shardul Thakur. So I think they also realized that for them to win this series and stay alive going to Old Trafford, they have to win this test match. And the only way they can do that is by batting and playing to their potential as a batting group. So I think each and every batsman have to take their responsibility and ownership and continue to play and back the formula which has worked for them throughout their career. It's not to do something different, but back their formula, back their game, and just stay at the wicket. And the more time they spend on the wicket, all of this batsmen are stroke players, runs will bound to come.
All things considered, Belly, was this a good day for England? They had the potential to bat India out of it, take a bigger lead. Looking at how conditions were through the day, would you have expected more than the 290 that England got?
I think so. I think that, like I said, conditions now are good for batting. I think there are some very good signs today. Ollie Pope played really well. He's a young player who we all believe in this country is going to be going on and become a very fine Test player, very very fine player. So that was a good thing today. There were some real bonuses out of today. But again, Test cricket, you've got to seize the moment. That partnership of Bairstow and Pope, again, when you're playing the highest level of cricket, when you get in, you've got to make it count. I think VVS talked there about India, somebody going on and making a match-winning 100. That was the opportunity today. And in Test cricket, there's always opportunities that come around. And that was one. They both played really, really well. But we couldn't quite get that partnership to go on to become a match-winning partnership or certainly a contribution. But the guys played well. But again, it wasn't enough really. Again, we needed somebody to go on and get a big 100 to put India under a little bit more pressure. Now, if India win the first hour tomorrow, they are. I think they're in a great position in this Test match. But there were some good signs. The guys played well, but again, we're talking about big competition. You're under a massive amount of pressure.
Hmm. We look at that last period of play for that last wicket partnership. Were there some shades of what happened to England at Lord's, Lakshman, where the last wicket wasn't coming and perhaps India were trying something else other than getting the wicket, trying to pepper Jimmy Anderson with short stuff? Did they lose it somewhat towards the end, or is that lead of 99 still okay looking at how the day ended?
I mean, it's definitely not okay, because when you had England at 62 for 5, I mean, you expect them to be bowled out for 150 or probably less than that. Yes, it was a brilliant partnership from Pope and Bairstow, and then Pope and Moeen Ali. And I thought Wokes also batted well, especially keeping in mind that this is his first Test innings after probably more than a year. But I just feel that the bowlers look very jaded, and it was only Bumrah who looked penetrative as the innings progress, and that's a cause of concern. And I'm just hoping that the calf injury is not a severe one or a serious one, and it just cramps, which troubled Bumrah later in the day. But I just felt that all the bowlers lacked penetration, looked jaded, looked tired, and also the slowness of the wicket. England will be happy with getting to 290 because 62 for 5 with majority of their main batsmen back in the dressing room. It was only to Johnny Bairstow and Moeen Ali who have already been part of this Test series. But credit to both the newcomers, Pope and Vokes, for the way they applied themselves.
Yeah, played well, didn't he? Ollie Pope. We spoke a lot about him and how he's a batter in your image, Ian Well, on a tour where nobody was getting runs in India. It's nice that we can have this conversation with you now when Ollie Pope's getting some runs as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he is a guy that, again, he moves nicely. He's got a lot of attacking options, which is great. What I was pleased with today, actually, he sort of, again, he used his defensive skills as well. He left the ball well. He defended well, which is the pleasing thing. Somewhat like you talk about having intent, which is one thing, and putting pressure back on bowlers. He has that in abundance. But what I feel, certainly younger players now, is being able to sometimes soak up pressure as well. It's okay for an hour or so in Test cricket. If someone's bowling well, you can leave the ball, you can defend. Yes, the half volley comes along, you put that away, and I thought he did that really well today. So, he's obviously had an injury. We've seen glimpses of a very fine player, but today that was one of his better knocks for England. There's no doubt about that.
Hmm. What is likely to happen then on day three? This test match is moving really fast. We're already into our third innings at the end of 2 days' play. Belly, we've seen the numbers at the Oval, at least recently. Spin tends to play a big part in the second innings. Are we expecting something similar to happen, or is this because it's so early in the test match? Is it still, a day for batters? India have to cash in tomorrow.
Yeah, I just feel I might be wrong, but I just feel that tomorrow's a batting day. I think if the sun comes out, obviously, this is really poised well. England are going to have to win the first hour. But again, I think VVS said there, for India, it's about just doing the process right. Even thinking this is day one of a Test match. If you bat the day, India are going to be in a great position. England need wickets. But watching it today, the feel of the ground, the atmosphere, and even just the cloud cover, it just feels like day one, yes, it was green. And we know over 5 days, pitches can change quite dramatically. It feels like today and tomorrow are going to be the best days to bat on this pitch.
You'd go with that, Lakshman. That the fact that this test match has moved fast gives India a chance to bat on day three. If England would have batted better, you think they could have easily batted days 2 and 3 and taken India out of it? India have been given a bit of a gift here that they can bat on day three, and what Ian Bell says could be the best day for batting.
Yeah, I think England have given India a chance to come back into this test match, because after bundling out the visitors for 191, you expect England, who probably got the better of the conditions. When we look at India before tea yesterday, it was challenging for the Indian batsmen, and the way the English bowlers were bowling, it was next to impossible to get runs of them. But I think with just now 56 runs behind and 10 wickets at hand, and the kind of desperation which I'm sure each and every batsman in that Indian batting lineup will have tomorrow and in the next inning. So I just feel that it's a great opportunity for them, to score big. And once if they get to probably 400, which I hope they can, and they've got the capability to do so, and even if it is a 225, 250 chase with 100 overs, I think England will struggle or at least feel the pressure because today when Jadeja was bowling over the wicket from the rough, there were a couple of deliveries which spun. One actually went and just landed in front of Ajinkya Rahane at slips. So I think it will be a much more tougher wicket for them to bat in the second innings than what they found today. So I just feel getting to a lead of 225, 250 and giving them a target will be very, very important if India looks to win this game.
Hmm. They decided to go with Chris Wokes in place of Mark Woodbelly on a day where cloud cover may not come into it. Where is there a threat that tomorrow England's bowlers may be less effective? Who's the biggest threat for India? It looked like Ollie Robinson's four overs were as comfortable as Ollie Robinson's been all series.
Yeah, I mean that's the argument, isn't it? I mean it's great when conditions and cloud cover and a green wicket that you've got four of the same type of bowlers. And England were fantastic on day one; they really were. But as this pitch gets flat now, that'll be the question. And we talk about having Saqib Mahmood in the last Test match when the pitch got flat at Headingley. Do you want a point of difference? And also someone like Wood, don't you? So there's always those arguments. I think England, so far at the moment, you'd argue that they've done everything right selection wise. But this is where it's going to get proven now, isn't it? I think Moeen Ali has to come in the game and quite early tomorrow. If it's not swinging at all, get him here in the game. Yeah, so it's going to be tested now, actually, as the pitch gets better now. And probably actually will get better for the rest of the game, unless there's obviously rough created from the footholds. And as VVS said, they're throwing it from over the wicket into the foothold. I think the middle of the pitch will stay pretty good for the whole game, but there will be rough created on those footholds and around the edge.
Who's going to bat at five for India in this innings, Lakshman?
Well, it has to be Ajinkya Rahane, and that's what I'm hoping. Probably it's the same for you, Raunak and Belly. But I think it was more to do with the conditions which were on offer yesterday, and we can understand that. Having said that, I'm sure Ajinkya Rahane will be eagerly waiting to bat and prove himself. Because he's a quality player. It's just that his lack of performance has probably not come at the right time for India, where as a batting group you're struggling, and that's something we find in the game. Because one or two batsmen who's out of form, you don't notice them quite so much if the other batsmen are contributing and scoring big. But if the whole group is struggling, then each and every batsman will go into a lean patch. Everyone will be noticing them and scrutinizing them quite closely. So I think that's exactly what's happening with Ajinkya Rahane at the moment.
All right. Well, Ian Bell's an important man. He's been summoned into invitation and action at the Oval in hospitality boxes. That's why he looks $1 million with the three lions maple on him. So I'm going to ask him a question now because you're going to join us straight at Stumps tomorrow. Where will this game be, Belly, at Stumps tomorrow? So I can pick you up on it when you join us this
Oh,
time tomorrow.
Ronald, that's a good question, Ronald. Look, I think there's an opportunity. I think we talk a lot about them. It's an opportunity. I think this is going to be a good pitch to bat on tomorrow. I think India have an opportunity to bat the day. I think they've had some tough conditions. Headingley, you look back at Trent Bridge, but they've had to bat in tough conditions. Tomorrow will be a good day to bat. There's no doubt about it. England are going to have to fight hard. You know, I look at that India lineup. I think if they bat the day, they're in a great position. They really are. And I'll probably sing on the fence here, Ronak, a lot, but England have to get wickets early. If they don't, I'm starting to get a little bit worried. As this lead starts to get up past 150 to 200, Joe Root has been magnificent for 12 months for England. My worry is, do we have enough if we're having to chase plus 280 on the last innings to win a Test match?
Yeah, I mean, Lakshman said 220 already. You're saying 280, but come on, you've got to give me an answer now. I'm going to push you for one. Who cares if you're wrong tomorrow? Where's this
My
test going to
gut
be?
feel says India will bat the day tomorrow and they'll be bat the whole day.
Yeah,
I
Lakshman,
hate to
would you
say
go
that,
with
by
that?
the way,
Yeah.
but I think they will.
But this is their best chance, you think, for a batting unit that's under pressure, that's been at the receiving end of criticism. Tomorrow is their best chance to bat an entire day.
I think they've had tough conditions through this series and they've done really well. I think tomorrow is a good day to bat, and that it's their opportunity. And Test match cricket is through opportunity. Do they take the opportunity or not? That'll be the question.
Lakshman?
Yeah, I agree with Belly. And I feel that everyone in that Indian batting lineup will be eagerly looking forward to contribute in this innings. And I think, uh, and they're world class players according to me. And I'm sure they'll come good. And I'm backing India to win this Test match. Early prediction for you, Ronak.
I love it. I totally love it. Lakshman's been right on this in the past, right? And I'd like to just point out for our viewers,
That's why
if I
you've got
should
him back in, right?
Yeah, Maninder will join us at the end of the series again to give England a chance. No, but if I have to twist your words, I'd like to say if India don't bat well tomorrow, this is the best chance they've got. So they've got to get it right.
Yeah.
So let's put it this way.
Yeah, and that's a very important point, Ronak. Because if India doesn't bat well tomorrow,
Yeah,
then I think they will be really, really disappointed because this
yeah.
you can't get a flatter wicket than this in England at the moment. So I think they will be disappointed if they don't seize this opportunity tomorrow.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much, gentlemen. All things considered, then this game is somewhat come into India's hands. Whether they cash in on it, we'll find out on day three. England still have the lead of 56. We know the questions of this Indian batting order, so we'll pick up the chat tomorrow at lunch with VVS Laxman and Ian Bell. We look forward to your company at Stumps on day three. Do join us then for ESPN Cricket for Matchday. It's been such an exciting test series. Just when you want to predict it, you know that something or the other surprises you. Let's see what happens on day three, the moving day of this test match tomorrow.